Channel 4 Dispatches have recently transmitted a film called The Truth About Vegans, in which Viva features. You chose not to take part in it. Why was that?
Channel 4 approached me giving almost no notice, 3 days notice to be filmed, and already they'd made their mind up. There was already a set agenda because they'd promoted the documentary on their website already, saying it was about vegan extremism. And they'd lumped me in with that so-called extremism without giving me the opportunity to answer a litany of allegations. I knew that the whole thing was basically a stitch-up.
Did you set out any conditions for being filmed?
I agreed to be interviewed so long as they sent the questions and allowed us to video me being interviewed. And the reason I said that was because it was so obviously a setup that we could show people afterwards how they'd edited me. And they said no.
I've seen the correspondence from the production company, and throughout it they make allegations of your breaking into the farm. What's the truth?
The truth is Viva doesn't break into farms. We enter the farms and we film, we don't touch anything. We literally are witness to what is going on to those animals. In the case of Hogwood, the first time that I went in, we were filming for about 3 hours in different sheds. We didn't break into a single one because they were unlocked. In fact, even one of them was slightly open.
The producer of the film also says that they sought the opinion of an independent vet, except he's somebody who's been working in the industry for 50 years. Is that independent?
In my experience, agricultural vets are never independent. They just back up factory farming. They're part and parcel of the industry, just the way the government's animal and plant health agency is. They don't do anything about intensive farming. The cruelty continues.
They also say that everybody who was involved, Red Tractor, Tesco, the government, all gave the farm a clean bill of health. What's the truth?
In fact, when I went into Hogwood, Tesco just basically said they would work with the farm to improve conditions. The RSPCA said that they did not endorse the low welfare conditions, and I quote, of Hogwood. So the RSPCA said pretty much what Viva said, which to the public, which was this is factory farming. And sadly, most of what you see at Hogwood is legal, and that was one of the reasons we wanted to expose it, because it's a mega farm, it's an industrial complex. And we wanted to show a supplier of a major chain like Tesco what it is they're buying into.
You've been mounting a vigil there once a week together with the SAVE organisation. And the producer makes it out that you're harassing a farmer in his house. Is that true?
No, it's not true at all. The vigils were organised by local people who really wanted to do something about Hogwood once Viva had exposed it. They'd be organised usually on a Sunday, usually between noon and 2 p.m. The police were always present. They were totally peaceful, and there'd be the industrial complex there, then a road, then people on the other side of the road, and literally that was it.
So you weren't harassing the farmer?
We never harass the farmer. That's not what Viva's interested in. In any of our campaigns, we never target individual farmers. What we're interested in is exposing the conditions of these animals, showing who they supply so people have the choice not to buy it. And obviously, we try and help people go vegan and make them make those connections.
What is Viva's attitude towards allegations of violence?
I find that really upsetting because we totally abhor violence. That's what we're against. We're against violence to animals and to people and to our planet. We do not advocate it in any way whatsoever, and we never have done and we never will. The irony is that we're the ones that receive the violent threats. I've received them personally, I've received them over Hogwood, and I've received them over the dairy campaign.
It's reported that a pig skull was left outside the farm.
Well, that would be very ironic if Hobble got upset about that, seeing as it's the skull of one of the pigs that he had killed.
Another of the allegations is that your language is extreme, and you referred to Hogwood Pig Farm as like a vision of Auschwitz. Could you justify that?
I refer to concentration camps twice, and once is when I first went into Hogwood, the factory farm itself, with the living pigs, and the other time is when I'm in the woods opposite. So he had a tip-off after I went into Hogwood that he was dumping pigs in the woodlands almost opposite the farm. And sure enough, there are all these skeletons of these pigs, body parts of them, shoulders, ribs, skulls of adult animals, and the ear tags. And I found it really, really upsetting because I have never experienced a farmer dumping animals like that, and it was very eerie, very macabre. And that is genuinely what I thought of, was how people were treated in the Second World War, you know, like they were just less than nothing. And it's one thing, I think, seeing it on a screen, it's one thing reading about it on a leaflet, and it's another thing investigating it yourself. And the very first thing that I saw, you know, when I walked into Hogwood, were pigs so overcrowded that I literally couldn't even move through them because there was no gangway, they were just all in this shed. And it was very late at night, and I just had this thought that none of these animals can ever sleep properly because they were so overcrowded. When one tried to, another one was standing on them, literally. There was no room. And I just looked at their faces and they looked at me. And again, I'd just been going through with my sons for their history, Auschwitz, and they'd been looking at the pictures of what they did to people. And they were loaded into these crates. And these faces looking out at you, and I was looking at all these hundreds of faces just looking at me. All of it is horrible. It's more horrific than I can even describe.
There's a claim here, you referred to it in passing earlier, by a dairy farmer, that what you do is cleverly show restricted shots to give the impression that animals are confined when they're not.
I find that accusation quite amazing because I made it a policy for Viva a very long time ago that we pan out and show the whole shed, for example, in the case of Hogwood, so that people can understand the conditions that those animals are living in. So yes, you will have some close-ups, obviously, of the animals, but if you go on viva.org.uk/face-off, you'll see all the face-offs that I've done in dairy farms, pig farms, egg farms, and in all of them we show really clearly how those animals are kept. We have absolutely nothing to hide. We go in, point the camera, film what is there in front of us, and that's what we show people. And more than that, with dispatches, something that again, these allegations are pretty outrageous because they did not come to us once before they invited me to be filmed, which was right at the end of the documentary. They did not ask to see any of the rushes, so that's all the hours of footage that we took on different cameras to see what we had filmed, which any decent documentary maker would have done right at the start.
What does the future hold, do you think?
I think it's really exciting because veganism is exploding, and we've had so much positive publicity, and we've had so many firsts for our campaigns, the first vegan cinema ad, the first vegan YouTube ad, and so on. The industry is getting worried. And so I think the flip side of that coin is that we will get attacked more and more publicly, and they will say things like they're receiving threats, and they'll just make up lies, which we've already seen with Hogwood. And I think it's going to happen more, and we have to brace ourselves for that, but at the same time, it's because we're being successful.